Welcome to the show where I read one book per week until my brain explodes. And today's book is Dogma and Ritual of High Magic by Eliphas Levi. This is the book that will either get you into the occult or will send you into the opposite direction. I read this years ago when I was in a very dark time of my life. I was about to get into Goetia, which is the summoning and the subjugation of demons, and I thought that I needed to read this as an introduction to the occult itself. But the biggest lesson that I took from this book is about love. The way that Eliphas Levi talks about love throughout the whole book is very touching, and it's something that is stuck with me to this day. Love is a lethargic maxim. Love is one of the mythological images of the Great Secret and the Great Agent, because it expresses at once an action and a passion, a void and a fullness, an arrow and a wound. Out of all the things in this wild ride of a book, this phrase spoke the loudest to me. On one hand, Levi says love is the image of the Great Agent. What is the Great Agent? Well, those are the forces that permeate the universe and set everything in motion, according to him. Then, on the other hand, he says love is in the actions and the intentions, the value and the meaninglessness of it all. I believe that you have to experience love in order to determine what it is to you specifically. His description is nothing but a guide. I don't think that he has the 100% guarantee definition of what love is supposed to be, but I do think that he struck gold with the latter half of this. Love is in what you do with what has been given to you or what has been taken away. This is all the later half of this phrase is speaking of. It is in that enthralling mass of feelings that you get when you're talking to that special person, that you give off a piece of yourself to them and you take whatever piece they give back to you. Love is in this action. It is in the value and the genuinity of what is given and in the care and the detail of what is taken. It is a promise to hold on to each other, be it amidst the void or within the fullness. This is something that reminds me of Camoins when he says that love is a wound that hurts but doesn't feel, a fire that burns but you can't see. This also speaks of voids and fullness, a wound and an arrow. Love is treating that wound, cherishing it, even if you can't see it, even if you can't seem to remedy it. It is cherishing in the pain that comes with it. This sounds like a complicated way of saying that love is give and take, or that relationships are give and take. But I think this phrase goes way deeper into things. It is said that in order for a relationship to survive, it needs equity of effort, meaning both sides have as close to 50-50 as possible when it comes to the effort and the dedication that they put into each other and into the relationship and into the moments that they have. Secondly, love or a relationship needs to have honesty and transparency, as close to 100% honesty as possible. You need to be able to open up and have the other person accept you for who you are and love you for who you are. In a healthy relationship, nothing is left unheard, even when nothing is said, because there is just a mutual understanding built around honesty. And then, of course, the third thing is intimacy, be it physical, emotional, philosophical, spiritual, whatever kind of intimacy that you can think of. I feel like in most relationships the effort is uneven, but it is not egregious enough to the point where it's going to become a problem right now. I feel like in most relationships the honesty is there and is just enough in order to keep things going, and I feel like the emotional intimacy is just enough in order to distract from the fact that the physical intimacy reigns supreme. But then in a lot of relationships there is a very egregious discrepancy when it comes to the effort, and the honesty is barely even existent, and the intimacy doesn't really go beyond the physicality. Whatever sort of imbalance in these three things you have, it's going to lead to toxicity and it's going to spell the end of the relationship, rather now or later. And the way that you can even gauge what sort of ratio each individual or each relationship has when it comes to these three things, it's by taking a look at what is given and what is taken. What is the effort that is being put into it and what is being taken from the other person. So I would say that love is giving everything that you have or close to everything that you have to that other person on an emotional, spiritual level, but you still don't feel empty because they give it back to you. They are able to keep you fulfilled and satisfied and whole. But love is obviously not the only thing that he talks about in this book. I would say that this book is the human ode to human of the occult world. Because in Human Ode to Human, Nietzsche talks about every single fucking thing that is going in his mind. Every single topic that you can think of, he talks about it. Well, it's kind of the same thing over here. Eliphas Levi touches upon art. He touches upon literature and society and politics. He touches upon gender and everything from the context of the occult. So throughout the book, for example, you will get the sense that he is trying his best to push you away from the occult. As much as a lot of the things that he talks about seem very dreamy, they seem very out of this world, he gives you a very grounded definition of things and he keeps things real, I would say. I mean, the guy is Christian, he just so happens to be involved in the occult, you know, he's not an atheist. But in this book, he goes as far as saying that demons don't really exist. He goes as far as saying that Satan is a human creation made in order to justify the unknown and in order to keep the unknown at bay. And then the book just dives into the Kabbalah. He talks a lot about the Kabbalah. At least from my research back in the day, getting initiated into the Kabbalah is essentially realigning your connection with the world around you and with God in a way. All in all, I think this is a very interesting read, and if you need another reason to read it, just think of it within the context of the time. This was late 1800s Europe, a time where the occult was going through a transition. What Eliphas Levi is doing isn't just informing you of the occult. What he's doing is philosophizing it. He is turning it into an intellectual topic. That's what he's doing, and that's the direction that the occult took after this book was released and after the end of the 1800s. Today, when we think of the occult, we think of the elite, you know, the richest and the most powerful within society congregating in order to, I don't know, rape children or something. That was not always the case. The occult was something that wasn't necessarily reserved for the masses or necessarily reserved for the poor, but it was something seen as colloquial almost. It was something seen as collective in a lot of ways. But then throughout this progress, you know, the idea of the rich elites congregating in order to sacrifice animals and make all of those rituals, that was born after the end of that century. That idea was born through the conceptualization of the occult, through the philosophication of it, and this book is a pivotal mark in that progress. I hope that you enjoyed my review. If I can find a free PDF file to attach it to the description where you can read the book, I'm going to do it. I hope you stick around, you know, because I'm trying to get back to daily uploads again. I will upload something tomorrow for sure. And yeah, I'm working on my next web project, you know. It's going to be a Victoria's the slap status generator. You know, I just finished working on the video for it, and I'm working on the assets, you know, the visual assets for it, and I will start coding the website tomorrow. I hope to live stream the process on TikTok actually. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and stick around for what I have to offer. And hey, share this with a friend. I keep saying the biggest difficulty with YouTube is finding people to watch my stuff. It's finding people to share my stuff, people who are gonna be willing to click. So if you think someone you know might be interested in this video, I would really appreciate if you could share it with them. So yeah, with that said, I will see you tomorrow.
A loaf of bread, a container of milk, and a stick of butter. A loaf of milk, a container of bread, and a Joe Dirt DVD. A Joe Dirt DVD, Scarlett Johansson, and Treasure from a Fish Tank.